and welcome. My name is Aaron. Today I'm reacting to the music video for Grey Zone by Handong, and I'm so excited about this because Dreamcatcher is one of my favorite groups and Handong is my bias, so this is beautiful for me. However, I do have to mention I have already heard the song, so this reaction will be much more focused on the music video itself, and this first frame is already crazy and gorgeous. We don't have any subtitles, so that's just something we have to deal with. I usually watch with English subtitles when they are available. And what I'm kind of expecting from this music video is a Dreamcatcher aesthetic, but softer. That's what I'm hoping for a little bit, but honestly, I'm just excited we have this because I was worried this would not be available, but it is. So let's just get right into it. Oh, that's great. We have subtitles baked into the video, which is a choice. We'll see how if it actually is continuous or if it's specific words. This is such a nice cut for the beginning because it fits the instrumental perfectly. And now that I see that, I feel like a lot of music videos that I have already reacted to could have benefited from that, from that choice of editing. It's fascinating. This is beautiful, I do want to say. This especially. This is great. I'm fascinated by this. This is wonderful. I'll go a little bit ahead and we'll listen. Okay, we don't have subtitles. I don't know why I didn't expect dance portions, but I didn't. Why am I surprised? I saw that there was a showcase and that she performed. I did see someone with... I have to go back a little bit further. I did see someone, or did I come to the conclusion myself? Anyway, somehow the thought came to me, either through someone else or I just didn't process it right, that it is kind of giving like a doppelganger thing. Something that Dreamcatcher also did with Summer Holiday. Was that the name? And this kind of solidifies it for me. And what I find interesting is that even though we don't see a lot of like the room, it is kind of like hotel-y. So maybe? Is it like, could we like at the very least say that it might be a spiritual continuation of what Because was? Just putting the thought out there. This is so beautiful. I really don't know what I expected or what my hopes were. I've been trying to go into music videos with a little bit less expectations. But I think what I also really like about this is how well paced it is. And like, I know I said it after 30 seconds. The point is, after 30 seconds, I can usually tell if a music video is well paced or not. And there have been a lot that haven't been. So this is a really nice breakup of that pattern I have noticed. Which is also weird because the breakup of the pattern is now also becoming a pattern. So maybe there's a general shift. Anyway. Oh. The golden cards are so pretty. Whoa! Wait. That's what? Wait. Okay, who do we have? Wait, is it both Handong? Am I crazy? I can't tell. My face recognition is failing me again. But this is a really nice touch that we get this image and then we get her dancing, but the shadow is the shadow with the fur coat. It's such a simple thing, but it does a lot in terms of general depth of the music video. There's been thought put into this. And I always really like when you have things where you can tell people sat down, my wrist correct. People sat down and really talked about it and thought through what they wanted to do. That's always a good thing for music videos because it can be so easy to just make a music video because you need a music video. But when you see even these small things where it's like, we made a choice, we made a conscious choice to do it this way, it can do a lot. This is really nice. Okay, this Handong. I don't know what was with the... Whoa! Coming out of the mirror? Oh, you know what it was? For a second I was like, is that Dami? Because Dami features on another song and I somehow mixed them up in my head. I know it's Peekaboo that Dami is featured on. This is a crazy shot, by the way. I just processed what I'm looking at. For a second I thought it was Dami, but the angle was just so weird. I didn't recognize the face in either direction. It's Handong. Anyway, this is a crazy shot. I am mildly mad about the thumbnail because, and I think the shot was before it's going to come because we saw a shot similar, but it was different. So I'm wondering if it's still coming or not. I kind of wanted to wait until we saw that shot to actually talk about it, but this also would be a pretty good thumbnail shot because it's odd enough that it catches your attention, but it's also clear enough for your brain to actually recognize what it is, which I think they were going for, but I'm not sure if they actually made it. I'll leave my further thoughts until we're done. I think that's better. We're only a minute in, I've already talked so much. Woo! The color changes. The color changes. The way they are currently switching between warm colors and cold colors, which are mostly red and yellow tones, and then only light blue tones, is really good. This is incredible. I don't usually... What I did notice with doing directions is I don't usually come out of a music video and I'm like, I should rewatch it. Here I do have that feeling. Regardless, I'm very impressed. The choreography is so simple, but there are a lot of little small details that work really well for the parts of the song that we're seeing the choreography for. Also, the styling is so, like, I'm saying basic kindly, okay? The styling is basic, but it works really well. They're not overdoing it, but I also don't feel like they are underserving for the type of song that it is. It does absolutely depend on how well the styling is handled going forward, if she's performing this and stuff. For this music video, even though the outfits are pretty simple, it works really well because I would also say that Grey Zone, just from the title, sounds simpler. I'm gonna be honest, I actually have no idea what the song's about. I didn't look up the lyrics. I half expected we would get subtitles, but we didn't. So now I'm just like, the song sounds good, which is fine. I don't listen to songs because of the meanings. I listen because they sound good. So I'm fine with that, but I'm just wondering. Oh, the castle set. That should have been the thumbnail. Okay, I'm sorry. Why is this not a thumbnail? What bothers me about the thumbnail a lot is that we don't see her face fully, which is just not a good idea when this is her first major release and she already has an established fan base. I don't know how popular she is in China, but one way or another, a lot of her fans will be Dreamcatcher fans. And if she is trying to branch out, which she obviously is, then she should have the best chance possible. And why am I giving this entire speech about the thumbnail? My point is, this is a better thumbnail. I might use this myself. That's my, what's the word? Conclusion. That's my conclusion from that. Honestly, any close-up of her face works. The sets have been really well chosen, I will give them that. But something that I've now noticed in this section specifically, but I think it was throughout, is how the camera is placed and how it's moved. Because most of the angles they're using are really basic. That's not a bad thing, it's just something I notice, especially coming off from very big K-pop groups where you often have a lot of very interesting direction and how the camera is placed and moved and stuff. Coming to this, which is much simpler, I'm not sure it's doing the choreo justice, because the choreo is very dynamic and usually camera work is kind of supposed to enhance that. Because choreo cannot enhance camera work. Camera work can only enhance choreo. So by only having these very frontal shots, even though we seem to have pretty big sets, it's really interesting that they aren't really making use of that much, because they absolutely could. And I'm wondering if that's either a cultural / industry difference, or if whoever directed this music video just doesn't have that much experience, or if they didn't have time to do more fancy stuff. That's also possible, because this was announced like a week before it dropped, and then we weren't sure if the YouTube account was official or not, so it was a little bit messy overall. So I wouldn't be surprised if this was mildly rushed for some reason, but let's just finish this. Now we have some quicker cuts, which works pretty well. Oh. Just a little bit more. Credits. Okay. Nice. Okay. Let's actually go to where the logo is. I usually stop to talk on the song logo or the artist logo. This is the most we get here, so I'm just gonna stay here to talk. Something I will give this music video is it has a very clear aesthetic it sticks with. I kind of hope we would see more of the umbrella scene, because it looked really pretty. Did I watch the teaser? I might have watched. I did watch the teaser. I watched the first teaser where the umbrella scene is in. That also would have made for a great thumbnail, just saying. Regardless, a consistent aesthetic is good. You know, it's weird. I've been criticizing like the same things for the past 2 months in completely different music videos, and now slowly those things are vanishing and the things that I hoped they would do instead are starting to appear. Is someone listening to me? I'm just asking. So this is exactly the aesthetic I kind of expected. It's very soft but dark, but there's still a lot of color in it, which is good. Colors always are important. Also, the way they use the contrast between the warm and the cold scenes works really well. The editing was done very well. Again, I think the only thing that does a disservice to this music video is the camera work. I really feel like that could have been done better with just a little more angling towards the choreography. Considering the choreography while filming is always important, and I just feel like they haven't done that here. The close-up scenes all look great. I'm not saying that because Handong is my bias. Definitely not. The baked-in subtitles are a choice. I don't know if that's an industry standard over there, if that's something that people sometimes do for some reason, but I personally don't like baked-in subtitles, so that's just my thing. Also, I can't read these. Surprise. Anyway, I do think, despite the camera work, this is one of the better music videos I've seen recently. It does stand out among the crowd, though to be fair, again, this is a Chinese release and I mostly react to K-pop, so that's a difference. And it also makes sense, I do want to say, despite I think some people, myself included, expecting Handong to go into a completely different aesthetic away from Dreamcatcher, it is smart that she, at least for this release, went with an adjacent kind of aesthetic, because it means Dreamcatcher fans will pay a little bit closer attention for whatever she does next. And that includes me, because I fully went into this release thinking that I might not like this, just based on the Chinese songs she released before, because they are less what I personally like listening to. But when this came out, I was like, I'm just gonna write a review and see what it does. I did that. That's up on Tumblr, I'll link it. That's also why I heard the song before. And surprising enough, I liked all of the songs. So I was very positively surprised by that. Anyway, so great music video. Subpar thumbnail. questionable camera work, but overall pretty good for like a first major release. I know she's released songs before. I'm not sure about if she's done music videos before, away from Dreamcatcher. But I will now absolutely have a close eye on this, but I really, really hope we get English subtitles next time. Honestly, I would also take Spanish subtitles. I just need something I can understand. So yeah, that's where I leave it for now, before I talk myself into circles further. So, thank you for watching. I have more stuff on my channel. Again, I also wrote a review for the entire mini album. I linked that below. Up there are reactions, down there are reactions, everywhere are reactions. You can go to my channel. I do a lot of girl groups for the most part. I also do a little bit of boy groups, but it's mostly girl groups. And yeah, take care of yourselves, drink tea, and with this, I release to the depths of the universe once again. See ya!